Okay, gentlemen, you already know the rules. Let me remind you to keep it clean, protect yourself at all times, obey my commands at all times. Golpe legales, golpe legales. Touch gloves. Good luck.
So you've got a man in Subriel Matias who only knows how to win by knockout, and a fighter in Alberto Puello who doesn't know how to lose. Something has got to give. Puerto Rico versus Dominican Republic for the WBC Super Lightweight title. 12 rounds. Here we go.
Watch for that left hand, that sneaky left hand to the body of Alberto Puello. He loves going downstairs. Matias better be careful raising those hands a little bit too high with that guard, because body shots like that, that's going to be the Puello MO.
Matias in the black trunks, Puello in the white. He's the champ. No one's been able to figure him out. They've come close. Like I said, 3 of the last 4 of his victories have been by split decision.
A lot of pressure being put on Puello right now by Matias, but he's handling it nice, keeping that range, popping that jab right now.
You can see Matias kind of banged his gloves together like he's a little bit frustrated already.
Well, I don't know about frustrated, but he understands that he's dealing with a fighter with the long arms, nice snappy jab, and he's always going to be on the front foot, on the back foot boxing.
And Mike, I asked Matias who was better, Liam Paro or Puello, and he said Puello is miles better than Paro. But what does that say then if he lost to Paro?
It says to me that Subriel Matias knows that he has to prepare for this fight, and he seems ready. Very fast start for him. He needs to keep this pressure on and keep Puello on the ropes.
Two different styles of southpaws in that one. Puello's a long, very long southpaw, and he keeps the fight in the middle of the ring. Paro's more lower body movement, and he punches with snappy shots and jabs.
The crowd already into this one. National pride at stake, and of course another Puerto Rican fighter coming up later tonight in the main event, Edgar Berlanga.
The thing that makes Matias so scary is that not only does he have scary big power, but he takes a big shot as well. Matias always has his head in the same place, gets hit, keeps coming.
Yeah, Puello sitting down on his shots. No one's picking him to win by knockout, but he does have 10 KOs in his 24 victories.
He has a really educated left hand. You know, Puello, when he throws it straight like that, then he picks it up with an uppercut, and then he comes downstairs to the body. And always boxing in circles. That's what I noticed when I was studying Alberto Puello. He dissects opponents. His punches are easy to see, but he's always in the middle of the ring.
Good uppercut with the left hand there. Puello having a nice opening round.
And look at how comfortable he is. He has a monster in front of him walking back. He's really collected, not breathing heavy, not overloading on punches, and still on the back foot.
Yeah, the power shots are scoring for Puello. Matias got to get that engine going.
Well, that left hand that I was talking about, you don't know if it's going to go to the body or it's going to pick you up upstairs, and that's what Matias needs to watch out for. Just laser focus on the eyes of Puello.
And they swing after the bell. The referee warns Puello, but a good opening stanza for the man from the Dominican Republic.
Sorry about that. Estamos bien. Estamos bien. Toma aire. Toma aire.
Take some air. Breathe.
Toma aire. Estamos
Breathe.
bien.
We're good.
Y sabes que cuando yo te digo que estás de pinga, estás de pinga.
You know what I told you, when it's tough, it's going to be tough. You know that. But you know, you can't just stand there in front of him.
Y mientras más me lo hables para esta esquina, mejor
And when you put him to the corner, it's better.
Le prendo lo que tú sabes.
Because we can light him up, you know?
Marcelito. Vamos, Puellito, ¿eh?
Go, Puello.
¿Quieres más agua?
More water?
Bueno, la amenaza, seguimos con la finta y seguimos
So you
con
got
los
to
laterales.
feint them in the lateral
Seguimos con la
movements.
finta y los laterales.
Feint them in the
Puello.
lateral.
I like what he said, Sergio. We can light this guy up.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what they're hoping to do right now, but Matias wants to light him up as well. Both these guys have that potential, that fire.
Great first round for Puello, but it is encouraging to me that Matias is applying the pressure, and I think he's doing a good job cutting off the ring, even though Puello's the one doing the better work. This feels like the kind of fight where it could be Puello early and Matias late.
This is Matias' fight right now. He's applying the pressure early. He doesn't want this fight to get out of hand so early, and you can see how intense he is with that pressure.
Yeah, more aggression right out of the gate here in round 2. But that leaves openings then for Puello. And he's loving that uppercut.
That's his favorite punch. Long right jab, and then he comes up with that left uppercut. And it's dangerous because normally it's really it's detrimental for a tall fighter to throw a lead left uppercut or right uppercut from that far. Puello gets away with it because he's so long.
Has Matias learned from his mistakes against Liam Paro? Can he apply the wisdom here against Puello? It's going to take a special performance to beat the champ. Good right hand lands, and Puello answers back.
Good shot by Matias. Picked him up with that right uppercut. This is going to be an intense fight from beginning to end, guys. Both these guys, even though Matias has the wicked power, Puello has high accuracy, good rate, good timing.
And Puello's going to have to work every minute of every round. He can't afford to let his guard down for 1 second against this powerhouse from Puerto Rico.
Either that or you got to smother his power just like he did there. Stay off the ropes and clinch when you have to.
That first punch looked a little low from Puello. That one right on the belt line.
Matias is doing a good job, you know, blocking the counters of Puello, keeping those hands up. Even though he lacks upper body movement, he's really good with his technique and keeping those gloves up, catching those shots and coming back.
And I think, too, Sergio, Matias is doing a great job staying close to Puello. He is not letting him use that jab and that length.
Yeah, exactly. Good observation. Another one, Mike, because that's what Matias needs to do. If he's at the end of that long reach, he's always going to be at the end of the punch. And believe it or not, both these guys have a 71-inch reach. It's just the wide shoulders of Puello and the height makes his reach look longer. And the fact that Matias, on the other hand, he likes to fight on the inside with compact punches.
Good step in left hand from Puello. Matias telling us earlier this week, I have to have the performance of my life to beat this guy.
And already, Todd, I think Matias fighting with a lot more urgency and energy than he ever did against Paro.
Couple seconds left here in the second round. A close one, but much better than the first round was for Matias.
Muy bien. Tirando, papi, 3 veces.
Now, deep breath 3 times. You got to get your hands in there. You got to get your hands in there. You got to lose the opportunity. Double it up. Double it up. Switch it up. Hit the uppercut and finish up top. And work it double. It's there for you. You got to want more. Hey, he's coming down. You're there in front of him. You got to let go. Hard uppercuts. Double it up. You're good. You know what you're doing. Now he's going to one side. Bring the uppercut, and then the hook.
What do you make of the chaos in the corners right now, Sergio?
Too many voices right now.
Yeah.
I think everyone's trying to say their piece, and that confuses the fighter. One voice only.
Tyson Fury had to deal with that over in Riyadh, didn't he?
Yeah, that was crazy. Fury in the first fight against Usyk. Yeah, the big John Fury in there. You had Subriel Stewart. But I do want to say, I thought that was sound advice to Matias. Rip the uppercut. His uppercut is a great punch, especially against a guy like Puello, keeps leaning over.
And nice work here from Matias to back Puello up, who looks a little vulnerable. You know, some of these rounds are going to be really tough to score, I think.
I think that's also the way Puello fights. His 3 biggest fights all ended by split decision.
Yeah, that's the thing about Puello. You know, he does just enough to keep this fight competitive and win rounds. Sometimes that works against you a little bit. You can see that he's falling into a trap right now by Matias' pressure and nonstop aggression.
But Puello is a very good back foot fighter, as he's shown in this fight so far. He doesn't mind being against the ropes.
No, he doesn't mind going backwards. He's a sneaky body puncher going backwards as well. There, see that sneaky shot right there to the body right there, Todd. That's what Puello does so well. So anytime you're thinking about blocking that shot, he turns it into an uppercut. So serve Matias right if he can start going to the body and keep the elbows tucked in of Alberto Puello.
And now Puello getting his shots in as Matias stands in the corner and loads up on the power.
Todd, I think Matias right now doing a great job of executing his game plan as a pressure fighter. He's landed a bunch of good body shots this round, and I think he's going to get better and better as this fight goes on.
This feels like a split decision either way. Every round close. Matias, the aggressor. Puello, the master of fighting off the back foot. But already, like you said, Mike, a much better performance so far from Matias than he did against Paro.
I think that right hand is going to be money for Matias. I know he wants to land the uppercuts and the left hook, but that right hand is going to be money for against the southpaw right there. Throw it straight and let something come back from Puello before you can check him with that left hook.
Yeah, great call, Sergio. You see Puello keeps leaning his head to the left.
Absolutely. That's opening up that right hand.
A lot of respect shown this week between these two. They realize what they're going to have to deal with in the ring. Right hand from Puello, but he knows when he throws one, Matias has one coming right back at him.
A little shaky as Matias. He was caught with a left uppercut. See a little buckle to his knees right now, but he keeps coming, needing up those shots. Matias can take a punch, but he's getting hit cleanly by Puello in this fight.
Yeah, Puello putting a lot on his power shots. Matias doesn't have to put a lot on his, but a great solid round there in the third for both fighters.
Estamos bien.
We're good.
Mira lo que te voy a decir.
We're
No,
good. Now
tú le
listen.
estás metiendo bien
Listen,
derechicho.
you're touching
Pero
them,
viste, le
hermano.
metiste una por
Well, see, you
dentro.
got one on the
El
inside.
chequeo dental. Y le
And you
no,
checked him.
le partiste la nariz.
You split his nose.
Oíste, se la
All
va
right.
cambiando.
Now switch it up,
Se la
though.
mete por dentro.
Switch it up. You put it
Oíste,
up on the inside.
¿Estamos bien?
You good? You got to manage those punches.
Matias, there's that right hand. There's a way around that guard, but he has to penetrate it with a straight right hand, and that's what he needs to watch out for. When you lack upper body movement, an upper head movement, it's those uppercuts that actually can come up the middle. That's exactly what Puello does really well.
Yeah, and with the pace these guys are fighting at, this feels like the kind of fight that's going to be who's in the better condition.
Well, both men knew what they had to deal with and said they had fantastic training camps, especially Matias. Boy, he is just a non-stop force, isn't he? And Puello's hitting him with everything he's got in these punches like that.
Well, Puello's doing everything he can to keep this guy off. It's just Matias, he's relentless, and that's how he gets fighters. He's not a one-punch knockout artist. He just suffocates you with presence and pressure, keeps attacking you until he breaks you down.
And Matias has gone downstairs as well. Some big body shots that could pay dividends later.
Both these guys are really impressive with not pulling back their punches. It's really short 6-inch punches in the inside. They use their entire rotations of their wide shoulders, but they don't have to pull back their punches or their arms.
Mike, can Puello win a fight that is primarily taking place on the inside?
I think he can, because Alberto Puello, even though he's a boxer, I think he has pretty compact shots. He's doing well on the inside, and he plants his feet.
And look, there's the difference on Matias' side. They're sneaky little shots, both left and right body shots going downstairs. 38 landed already.
Imagine getting hit 38 times by someone with the power of Matias to the body.
And look, no matter how, we're professional fighters, we know how to absorb punches like that, but to the body, you don't prepare for that, especially by a big puncher like Subriel Matias. It'll serve Alberto Puello to do something that I haven't seen him do recently. Actually walk guys back. Right there, he clinched them, but he needs to start walking back. Guys like Matias, they don't like being pushed backwards. They like being on the front foot always. So anytime you get a clinch, you maneuver them back, you push them back.
8 of Matias' stoppage wins have been via retirement. Opponents have decided they simply can't take any more, and the body punch output is one of the main reasons why.
It's because he's always in your face, no matter where you're going, whether you're moving laterally, backwards, you're going forward, he's always in your face. That's mental pressure, physical pressure. And especially when you're landing shots and you're not hurting him, that's another thing that you have to watch out for. Matias could take a punch.
And I think what's also serving Matias well here is he has a lot of experience against southpaws. Yes, he lost to Paro, but he has quality wins against Jukambayev and also Ergashev.
No, and solid winners, guys that aren't accustomed to losing. I mean, this is the 7th undefeated opponent that Subriel Matias has fought in 12 fights. I mean, that's how you become great, when you're fighting undefeated fighters, knocking them out, and continue going forward.
Puerto Rican contender Yaquiel Rivera is set to face Venezuela's Angelino Cordova as the pair of unbeaten flyweights will vie for the interim WBA title atop an August 23rd most valuable promotion show from the Caribe Royale in Orlando, Florida. And there's Terrence Bud Crawford, as well as Mike Coppinger's best friend, Shakur Stevenson.
Look, I'm excited for the fight. We've been looking forward to Shakur Stevenson against Zepeda for a couple of years now. You see the Tom and Jerry hat, but will Shakur Stevenson actually stand there and make it a fight with Zepeda? Not recklessly, but a fight.
He's going to have to make it a fight, and I think he's going to have a special night tonight, because when you have such an aggressive fighter coming forward, that's when your power shines. And you know, Shakur's not known for his power, but when you have someone so aggressive like that, it translated to something big.
And look at the muscle mass that Terrence Crawford has added ahead of this super fight against Canelo Alvarez.
Through round 4, 139 of the 170 combined landed punches between these two fighters have been power shots.
They're all power shots, and they're not that easy to see power shots that are from long range. They're inside, just like that, compact, strong, behind technique, torquing your whole body, using your waist.
And you can see how Matias is trying to close the distance, where Puello will push and shove him out of the distance to try and extend those arms.
Not just Matias finding success with the uppercuts. You see Puello uncorking him now as Matias is coming in with his head leaning over.
Sergio, if Matias is to drop Puello in this fight, what punch do you think gets the job done?
Probably an uppercut. Both these guys are throwing a lot of uppercuts. I would say the body, but, you know, Puello has actually taken those body shots really well. So I would say it's an uppercut or a straight right hand.
Let's check in with Chris Mannix, who is scoring this fight, of course, unofficially. How do you have it?
Yeah, I've got it 2 rounds apiece, Todd. 2-2 through 4 rounds. Fun fight so far, as every Subriel Matias fight seems to be. First 2 rounds, I thought Puello did a pretty nice job countering the pressure of Matias. Last 2, much more successful for Subriel Matias. Great body work, especially over those last couple of rounds. I think Alberto Puello has to stay on his bike. He's got to stay on the move. And I think he's got to take a page out of the Liam Paro playbook. He's got to take something off these punches. Don't sit down so much. Just try to land and get out of the way, because if he stays in one spot, he's going to get in this kind of trouble.
Yeah, I think Mannix is spot on there. I'm not scoring the fight, but it feels like a fight that is even and can go either way. And we talked about it in the Morel and Kataya fight. I think we want to see Puello, as Sergio said, push Matias back. Matias is not a guy that can fight going backward.
I'll tell you what, guys, it might be a 2-2 type fight, but as far as body language and effective aggression and power, Matias is breaking down Puello already. I could already see Puello a little bit, you know, weary of those shots and going backwards a little bit too much.
Well, and he's also putting so much behind these power punches as Puello. That's going to drain him a little bit as well.
No, here's the thing, Todd. He's putting a lot behind those punches, but he's catching glove. And Matias is not respecting the power of Puello.
And it looks like Matias is now cut over the left eye. I'm seeing some blood over there.
There's been a lot of head battles on the inside. You wonder if it was a punch or a headbutt that caused it. 20 seconds to go here in round 5. A lot of leather being exchanged between these two. Oh, that looked like a low punch.
Heavy body shot.
Another close round between Puello and Matias. This is exactly the kind of fight we thought we were going to see.
Straight up your legs. See, slow it down, all right? It's all right. You're dominating when you're going in with those long punches. Because he's on the inside, he's not throwing anything. Remember, you got to throw when you go in. Don't just attack the body. The punches when you go in are just to get inside. You got to work it there. Jab is working. But work it on top and then work the body. So up top and move your head. How are you feeling? Good. All right, we're good. Let's go. Pressure now, pressure. He's going down.
Well, Mike, you remember back in March, it was supposed to be Teofimo Lopez who was going to fight Subriel Matias, but that fight didn't happen. What went down there?
Yeah, Todd, they were closing in on a deal. Everything was pretty much set for March, like you said. And then Teofimo Lopez decided he didn't like the money, and he went up forward with that fight in May against Barboza. Yeah,
he said something about, remember, this fight should be taking place on the West Coast, not in New York City. And then Matias did fight in March, became the mandatory for IBF champion Richardson Hitchens, but who knows when that fight would ever get made. So he was basically forced into this one against Puello, but so far he's doing pretty darn good, Sergio.
Yes, he is. Both of them have their moments, but this is a fight that I think Puello needs to do. He has to use his legs more. He has to keep that distance. Do not let Matias continue coming forward and just touching the body and touching the headshots. He's gonna have to use his legs and box. Manic said run, but it's boxing here. You can win rounds on your back foot, jabbing and sneaking in that uppercut like he likes to do. There's that uppercut right there. Keep throwing that and pop that stick in the end.
Not a lot of jabs, Sergio. Usually you're the one calling for that. But it seems like both these fighters are resigned that we're just going to have to slug it out with power punches.
Matias can't go jab for jab. He wants to get on the inside with him. And Puello, that's what he needs to do. Start using that reach.
And this has been one hell of a fight, and it can really go either way right now, but it just feels like, as you guys mentioned, that Puello's starting to get frustrated by that pressure, and Matias with a big right hand right there.
But remember, in the last fight, we thought Katayev's pressure was going to impress the judges, but they went with the other fighter in Morel. Who knows what they're thinking here? What a grueling fight this is. Imagine being a fight like this, Sergio. What was your toughest back and forth fight?
Well, I've had several of them, but on the inside like this, it was against Shane Mosley. Shane Mosley was a shorter, strong fighter that wanted me against the ropes, and I had no choice but to fight him against the ropes. Shoe shining, trying to get your points, trying to get those sexy points, but whenever you have consistent pressure like that, you know, judges actually favor that sometimes.
Well, that fight was scored a draw. Who's to say this won't be the same?
Hey, good point. Because neither of them are trying to control the action with the jab. You know, both of them having their moments on the inside. If someone would just get theirs in on the inside, back up and start popping that jab, then it looks like you're the ring general and in control.
It's not a good look. I don't care how talented you are to be laying against the ropes, absorbing shots.
Sergio called it earlier in the fight. Matias is starting to hone in with those right hands.
Yes, sir.
There's an uppercut from Matias. The crowd showing their approval.
It's almost as if Matias throws away that right hand, whether it's a hook or a straight shot, just to wing a straight left hand. But that right hand alone is what's actually breaking down Puello little by little.
Estamos bien, Puello.
We're good, Puello.
Okay? Yeah, everything is okay. Thank you. Puellito. Está bien, le está metiendo
Well,
el
listen,
de Chicho y el de Juan muy
you're
bien.
getting those two
Ahora,
shots
lo que
in
me hace
nice.
falta es que le
Now,
meten
what I need
un chequeo dental.
is to check him
Porque
up.
ya está así.
Check his jaw.
¿Entiendes?
Check his
Asegúrate
mouth.
de cuando
He's
le
already
meta
coming in.
dieta, se la cambia.
Change it up also.
Oíste, estamos bien.
We're good. Yeah?
Cuello. Esto de pinga, esta pelea,
Well,
ese cinto
this is
es
a
tuyo.
fucking fight, man. This is your belt. This is not his.
Es un muerto que está
He's a
parado.
dead guy who's just standing there.
Él está bajando.
He's going down. He's slowing down. But you just can't stand there.
What do you think of that, Sergio?
Well, I love the translating because word for word, that's what you want to do it verbatim, whether it's bad or not. But there's passion. I love the advice they're giving him, but he has to check the chin. They want him to check the chin of Matias. When he's getting that aggressive, you're gonna have to land something to get the respect.
But you gotta preach reality at some point, right? A dead man walking, he's going down. I don't see that happening at all.
No way. You also got to be honest with your fighter. I mean, I like the aggression, I like the passion, but you got to tell him, hey man, you're falling behind. Matias is on the front foot way too easy now.
Matias at his best, he reminds me a lot of Antonio Margarito. He just seems to get stronger and stronger as the rounds go on.
You remember last night, Amanda Serrano was getting a lot of rah-rah stuff in her corner. You're doing great, you're winning, and in the end, that was not the truth.
Yeah, and that's what happens when you don't tell, you know, your fighter the truth. You just want to keep them in the fight. You want to keep them confident, but they're losing the fight. They're losing rounds and falling behind.
We're in round 7, a back-and-forth battle. The aggressive Matias versus the responsive Puello.
Look, see body shots like that. 3-punch combination and just 1 punch returned by Puello.
Good body shot again. You can't discount when Matias rips the little left hand into flurry to the body. And Puello's power punches have lost a lot of steam.
Yes, they have, and that's the reason Matias is not respecting any of those punches. He parries off that offensive attack by Puello, even with his forearms and elbows.
Matias, I think, looking better than a lot of people thought he would.
Yeah, Todd, I think this is a great reminder not to write fighters off so quickly. People said Leon Paro's a boxer, so is Puello. Matias has no chance. Obviously, the odds makers knew better, and Matias is proving them right now.
Hey, listen, man, I'm one of the first ones that started calling this man the boogeyman. Of course, everyone, turned against me when he lost, but I still think he has that boogeyman character and way about him. He wants to hurt and make fighters submit. That's his thing. He finds a way to knock these guys out through pressure.
Matias is the boss in the ring right now, no doubt about it. Puello is just having to react to everything Matias does. He's controlling the tempo, the pace, and the style of this fight. But it's a style, Sergio, that takes a lot of energy, and we've still got 6 rounds to go after this.
Yes, it does, and if you're not buying time and saving energy with that jab, then this fight can end even quicker than you think.
5 rounds after this. Not great at math. 14 seconds to go here. Matias trying to pick his shots.
5 rounds is an eternity when you're fighting a buzzsaw like this.
And remember, Puello knows how to win close fights. He's never been beaten. Good left there from Puello.
A good shot by Puello.
Someone who's very interested in what happens tonight is standing by with Adi Oladipo.
He certainly is very interested. Dalton Smith, the unbeaten Dalton Smith, is in line to fight the winner. How are you seeing it?
Yeah, I think it's a great fight. I think Matias has pulled it a little bit closer now. I probably got Puello 1 round up, but one hell of a fight. They're knocking the crap out of each other. But I think the second half of the fight now is going to be very interesting. Obviously, Puello's slowed his feet a little bit, allowing Matias to close the distance, but I've still got Puello one round up.
It was billed as boxer versus puncher. It's almost as though Puello's fighting the fight that Matias wants him to fight.
Exactly that. The first couple of rounds, Puello was using his feet, walking him onto shots, and he slowed his feet down, and that's what Matias wants. But hopefully he gets his second wind and uses his feet. But I think he's fighting the perfect fight for Matias.
Dalton, go and enjoy the rest of your night, top man. Thank you.
Dalton Smith has Puello maybe up a round. Mike, what do you think of that?
Yeah, I think this is a close fight. I think it could be Matias upper rounds, could be Puello upper rounds, but I still believe that Matias is putting in the work. And Matias, not known for his defense, but he's starting to make Puello miss a lot.
It could be 1 round apiece. I personally got Matias up one round. But yeah, the thing about Puello, he is fighting him off on the back foot. So even though Matias is on the front foot being aggressive, you see some clean shots being landed by El Orgullo de Martinillo.
Yes, the pride of Martinillo, as us English speakers say. But there is a lot of national pride in this one. The build-up for yesterday's weigh-in, a lot of Dominican fans and Puerto Rican fans making noise.
Ooh, good shots.
And Fat Joe just entered the building. I just saw him walk by. So Matias off of back-to-back stoppage wins when he lost to Liam Paro. Stopped Roberto Ramirez and then battered Gabriel Venezuela in his last fight to stop him in the 8th. We're in the 8th round here in New York.
No, that fight against Gabriel Goyas Valenzuela, I mean, that was a physical fight. Goyas came to win. That was a tall, lanky, power-punching Mexican. Matias was able to withstand that storm and break him down, too. That's exactly what I see happening right here with Puello. Puello still has that confident look in his eye. It's a close fight, but Matias is just relentless, and that's how he ends up getting these stoppages.
The fan zone says Matias is winning 75% to 25%. And Matias certainly trending in the right direction after maybe the first 2 rounds went to Puello.
I mean, Matias is like the Terminator in there. It doesn't matter how many punches you bounce off his head, he's just walking forward.
Well, boogeyman Michael Myers just keeps coming. I mean, he's not coming. He doesn't run towards you. He doesn't come with speed. He's just slowly walking towards you, not afraid of what you're throwing back. And it keeps picking you up with uppercuts and body shots.
Yeah, he is not fearful of Puello's power.
No, he doesn't respect nothing come out of Puello. That's the reason he's able to just come so easily in that front door. With nothing to worry about, with ease.
Fatigue has got to be setting it for these 2 guys.
You can see it in the body language, especially at Puello. Good body shot by Puello.
Yeah, he stepped into that left hand. 10 seconds to go here in the 8th. Getting down to crunch time here.
Subriel.
Straight up your leg, Subriel.
Tira 1 o 3 veces, papi.
No, deep breath, 2 or 3 times.
Vamos ya.
Let's go, baby. You gotta work more. You wanna win, Devin, or what? You gotta work more. You gotta work more. You gotta win all those rounds. 9, 10, 11. You gotta win them all. You gotta go. More punches. You've got to work. You gotta dig down with those punches. Dig down with those punches on the inside, on the middle. The straight shot is straight chin. You've got to throw when you're going in.
And we welcome you back to Flushing Meadows, Queens, New York. The Louis Armstrong Stadium, the first ever fight card held inside the stadium. And man, has it been a good one. David Morrell and Imam Katayev with a fantastic battle. And this one not far behind it. Puello and Matias, it could easily be 4 rounds apiece. Left hand there from Puello. Let's check in now with Chris Mannix's scorecard. How do you have it through 8?
76-76, 4 rounds apiece. A very competitive fight. Up to the last 2 rounds, Alberto Puello did a nice job of hitting Matias as he was coming in. You heard the corner of Matias after that last round say you've got to do more. But I've noticed these last 2 rounds that as Matias comes forward, he's not throwing. So he's applying pressure, but he's allowing Puello to get off first. That's got to change for Matias to get that momentum back. 76-76 through 8 rounds.
You know, I don't always agree with the Chris Mannix scorecard, but I think he's bang on tonight. Matias coming on strong. And I think Puello is getting to the point now that he's going to have to make an adjustment.
Oh, nice right hand from Puello. Well, according to Chris Mannix, Puello's won the last 2 rounds. Do you agree with that, Sergio?
Of course I don't. I haven't fought pretty Matias. I mean, I like the pressure coming forward. Even though Puello is landing clean shots, they're too far in between. This is a really good run for Puello. He's actually going around the guard and landing clean shots with those hooks. And the ineffective pressure that Mannix was talking about, you can see it in this round. See how the head's snapping back now, and there's not much pop to the punch of Matias.
Yeah, when Puello has room to step back when he throws, that's when he's landing. When his back is against the ropes, he's having a hard time.
I think both fighters starting to tire a little bit from the pace now. You're seeing Puello grab a little more, and Matias a little slower on the front foot.
Good shot by Puello now. We were talking about the fatigue that we saw earlier by Puello. Well, now he got a second win. I can see a little bit of physical fatigue from Matias now.
Yeah, it's hard to keep up this output and that kind of style and not get tired. A grueling pace for Subriel Matias, but it's the only style he knows, and it's been wildly successful. 22 wins, 22 knockouts.
And I'm surprised no head clashes have been happening here. That's because Matias keeps his hands and his glove up, because Puello actually leads with his head when he's trying to clinch.
This has definitely been a Puello round.
And he needed it because Matias was getting way too confident.
Good head movement there from Puello.
Listen to me. You want to win this fight? You want to win this fight? Move your legs. And lots of rights.
And there's the man that's made it all possible, His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh. Mike, what was the thinking behind selecting this venue for this fight card?
Yeah, Todd, obviously there's a lot of great venues in New York, but we always see the fights at Madison Square Garden. We saw that last night with Taylor Serrano. We've seen Barclays Center, tennis centers. I think this is a very unique venue. And you look at the StubHub Center in LA, the War Grounds, as you mentioned earlier.
We might have the War Grounds in the East Coast now, and I got to thank him, His Excellency personally for putting on these great shows and taking them all over the world.
What'd he say to you?
He smiled and he appreciated it too.
Did he say go take a seat in the stands? He didn't know who you were?
He didn't know who I was, but I thanked him anyway.
All right, we're in the 10th round, and it's a pick'em. But according to Chris Mannix, Puello is starting to trend upward. Maybe, possibly won the last 3 rounds.
And still slinging that left uppercut, his favorite punch.
And you know things are tight when the corners aren't really giving you technical advice, Sergio. They're basically just giving you the rah-rah speech.
Yeah, they're just pretty much cheerleaders, because at this point, you know, it's a battle of attrition. You know, the technique has already failed them. They're not as fast. You know, their legs aren't as strong. Now it's just heart. It's all stamina. It's all who has a little bit left in the tank, who worked harder. That's what Puello has been doing this entire fight, and now it's actually paying dividends. Anytime that Matias was going to start something, he actually breaks that distance and smothers it. But now that Matias doesn't have the legs, he pushes back, and it looks like he's pushing him back, and the legs are weak.
Good left there for Puello. And again, if he's got room to move, Sergio, he can do damage.
Yes, he does, and sometimes he pushes you with his shoulder and pops you at the end. Really sly and smart fighter is this former champion in Puello.
It's all about the footwork, but Sergio, those are some heavy legs right now, are they not?
Both of them have very heavy legs, but I still like the bounce in Alberto Puello's legs a little bit more. And look, see, that's what I mean, pushing them back. Whenever two fighters are fatigued, it's the one that clinches and walks the other back, that keep taking and sapping the strength from the legs.
Good snapping shot on the inside from Matias.
That's what veterans do, man. They know how to get away with the little sneaky tactics without the referee noticing or having to warn you.
And we're seeing Puello now holding an awful lot. Against Gary Antoine Russell, another hard-charging fighter, he was deducted a point for holding.
Yeah, if you're holding and not punching after you stop clinching, then it looks like you're excessively holding on purpose. See, right there, that's on purpose, right? But if he actually gets split up and starts throwing some punches at a distance, then it's clinching and punching. Muhammad Ali was an expert at that, clinching, punching at the end of his career.
The crowd doesn't appreciate that, and the referee warning him. And now Matias re-energized. But Puello backs him off with that left. And Puello showing some resolve here. Good stuff. Hey, Anthony Yard in the house. He'll be fighting David Benavidez in November. Good to see him in America. Joshua Buatsi, Chris Mannix's favorite fighter. Ben Whitaker, always smooth. Hey, Abdullah Mason, one of the great young talents in the sport.
Yeah, November 22nd.
And that's the man he'll be fighting, Sam Noakes. And Big Baby Miller. He's not running his mouth, Sergio. Almost didn't recognize him.
Ah, Big Baby, but we're in his city, New York, and there's the man right there, the living legend, Bernard Hopkins, baby.
Sitting next to Teddy Atlas on his left. Love to hear that conversation between rounds. But right now, we're in the championship rounds of a very close battle between Alberto Puello, the champ, and Subriel Matias, the challenger.
Yeah, Todd, and in that fight against Sandor Martin in March, it was Puello that swept the championship rounds to pull out the split decision.
And keep in mind, Puello has never lost, while Matias has never won a decision.
Matias is hurt. It was an uppercut, landed a clean left uppercut, his favorite punch. Matias ate that up, but his legs betrayed him.
But his muscle memory forced him to keep going forward.
Yeah, but some guys, that's all they know, man. They're still hurt. You know, it's the ignorance and the pride of a puncher sometimes. They refuse to back up.
Well, the best defense for Matias, at least, is offense. And here comes more of it. But he looks a little slower.
A little slower and a lot more shakier. Look, he's not taking the punches as well anymore. The punch resistance is going out the window. This is Puello's time to shine, man. Look, it's anytime he lands something, the foot backs up and he doesn't take it as well.
And you see how close the numbers are. It could go either way. The last 2 rounds could be the difference.
And again, I think Alberto Puello has a lot of great experience pulling out close fights. His 3 toughest opponents, Akhmedov, Sandor Martin, and Gary Russell, all split decision victories.
That right hand scores for Puello. Remember the last fight? It came down to the 10th and final round, and it was David Morrell who won that round and the decision.
But Matias has never really had the best feet and balance, and now that he's fatigued and his legs aren't under him and he's slightly hurt, any shot that's pushing him off balance, he's bouncing to the right or left, looking like he's tired. Whenever you have guys like that swaying back and forth because they're tired or hurt, you just got to start putting combinations together. That's what's actually going to keep them hurt.
They say you got to take the title from the champ, and Puello is the champ. Good left. Matias just walking through everything. It's all he knows.
Matias now starting to bleed more and more from that cut over the left eye. You see the blood on Puello's right knee.
Matias, the body language just shows the exhaustion that his body is going through right now.
Anytime he misses is when you see that tiredness, because the legs don't have that strength anymore. They don't have that same bounce. Good shot there by Puello.
And moves out of the way.
Oh yeah, this is Puello. Puello's a better distance fighter, second half fighter. Matias, the pressure wasn't enough in the beginning now.
Alberto Puello feeling the flow as we head into the final round.
That guy he can't see. He's fucking blind. You gotta work. You gotta work. You got it. You gotta work. Work.
And here's that beautiful uppercut. Matias coming forward, boom, that's the shot right there. You don't see those shots coming. Normally, your knees will buckle and your legs will fail you, but that's the thing with Matias. As hard as he punches, he can also absorb a hard punch.
What a replay that was. How did Matias not go down?
Who knows?
Jab, jab, and work it. Let's go, damn it, you can do it. You got 3 minutes.
come down to this, guys. The WBC super lightweight title hangs in the balance. 3 minutes to go. Puello, the master of finding ways to win. Chris Mannix, how's your scorecard looking?
106, 103. I've got it for Alberto Puello. His best round was that 11th round. That uppercut really was one of the difference-making shots in this fight. Matias, when he gets tired, guys, he gets sloppy. Just coming forward, not throwing punches, with those hands down. He's got to have a big round on my card to win.
Yeah, he needs a knockdown according to Chris Mannix, but if there's one guy that can do it, you got to bet on the man who has finished all of his wins by knockout.
Not at this point anymore, man. The legs aren't under him. And I love the fact that Puello now, he's boxing using his legs. You can see that he has the fresher legs, but when they clinch, he's walking back, Matias. Not only does that kill the clock, but it also extinguishes the attack and stops the attack and the forward movement of Matias.
It's been a valiant effort for Matias, but is it going to be too little, too late?
Todd, I think no matter what happens here, Matias has certainly redeemed himself. Another great action fight and really wiped away the memory of that power loss.
And hey, he may be winning this fight. A lot of close swing rounds that maybe Chris Mannix tilted in the favor of the man from Dominican Republic. I mean, if you like aggression and you like the guys on the front foot and pushing the pace, then you like Matias.
That is a nasty cut over Matias' eye.
Oh, he's not even thinking about that right now, is he, Sergio?
No, he is not. He just got hit with a right hook in that eye as well. No head movement coming from Matias. And that's what I'm talking about right there. That clinching right there. That's a legal clinch. And that just bought him 5-10 seconds moving backwards and comes back with a punch like that. That's easy to see for the judges.
Another good shot from Puello.
What an intelligent throwback fighter is Alberto Puello. I'm really impressed watching him fight. And look at those little sneaky shots. Nothing powerful, just digging to the body, continuing.
30 seconds to go. Is Alberto Puello going to do it again? Another decision victory in a very close competitive contest. Or has Matias done enough? Every punch matters now. An excellent battle between Alberto Puello and Subriel Matias. Well, Sergio, you were convinced in the last fight that it was Kataev who was going to get this decision. How confident are you now that it's going to be Puello?
I'm pretty confident. I'm pretty confident that Puello pulled this off because just when Matias was starting to take it away from him, that's what champions do, Todd. They snatch it right back. Puello refused to give this man any kind of leeway, any kind of victory tonight. I think Puello pulled this close fight off.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, back over to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. It was just announced on DAZN. Moses Itamwa will look to further cement his credentials as a major heavyweight challenger when he steps up in class and faces Dillian White in August in Saudi Arabia on the 16th. Itamwa, a real special talent.
I love watching Itamwa, man. He's a heavyweight that boxes like a light heavyweight. You know, light on his feet, great trainer, speed, power. I call him Trauma Itamwa. That's what I like him, man. He's just going through everybody.
And you got to look good for the decision. Matias putting on the jewelry. But who's going to take the golden belt home? According to you, Alberto Puello, 59% to 41. Either way, as Mike Coppinger mentioned, Matias really gained a lot of respect back after a lackluster loss to Liam Park.
No, absolutely. And not only that, but also Alberto Puello was able to redeem himself from the controversy that he faced with his failed drug test. So now he comes back and regains the championship.
Well, they're ready for Zepeda, but we've got business to tend to here.
I think we're all ready for Zepeda. I mean, we've had nothing but just barn burners, you know, guys coming forward, pressure fighters, and so far the judges have favored the buzzsaw and volume of punchers.
Well, hey, let's be honest. The last ring card in New York City just did not deliver as far as action in the ring. But so far, through the fights we've seen tonight, we've had fantastic battles.
Hey, maybe it's the city, maybe it's where we're at, the borough we're at. We need more fights in this venue, Louis Armstrong venue here in Queens. I loved everything about it. There's the man that brought it to us, His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh. I mean, what fights he's putting together. I mean, incredible.
I see Dalton Smith in the ring. He's going to try and stare down and force a fight with the winner. But who is the winner? That's the big question. We don't know yet. They're taking a lot of time adding up these scores.
They took time in the last fight as well. But if you judge the face, you know, there's only one man that took the worst of it, and that's Matias, with swelling in both eyes, cut on that left eye, bleeding, bruised.
And a lot of mutual respect being shown between these two athletes, and they were doing that all week in the lead-up as well.
Because, you know, fighters that champions like this don't need a bark. They don't need to do all that shenanigans. They don't need to take a page from the Berlanga book. Both these guys have been champions. They know what it's like to handle themselves like a champion.
Alberto Puello, 24-0. Subriel Matias, 22-2. Puello now has gone the distance in his last 7. Will he win all 7? Let's find out. Here's Thomas Triber.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge Frank Lombardi scores it 114 to 114, even a draw. And both judges, Ron McNair and Tony Paolillo, are in agreement. They both scored the same, 115 to 113. Both for your winner by majority decision.